All right, ladies. Let's actually see here what's going on. Two little trades on IBIO. I don't know how much I'm going to be trading this one, but so far it was kind of interesting. 117 million float US biotech with some pretty rehashed, they picked a vaccine for the coronavirus candidate. Nothing really new there besides, I think, just, some rehashing PR. But good time for it because yesterday IBIO had low volume, but it still was a green day because it's just a pure bottom bounce at this point. So anything will get a ticker like IBIO moving. So I do think we might see something into the 2.5s today, maybe even a small crack of that. If we could crack that and get into the 2.75s, that could be a nice run, and then, prepare for this 3. So kind of interesting ticker here, IBIO at this point. Not like blown away by it, but, it's a ticker that we all know and we've all probably traded before. So it is what it is. So going over some of the trades we made this morning pre-market, IBIO was the one I was day trading. I also day traded TRIL, our second league gapper, 62 million float, Canadian biotech, the $25 million Pfizer investment. Something to maybe consider as well. I think it's probably one of the best. It's kind of more of a mid cap. Again, it's not a small cap, but it's probably one of the cleaner gappers. I'm a little bit on the red on that one. LMMD, I'm up on this one. And then yesterday evening, I got long Tesla. So we could talk about this one as well. Tesla was kind of the ticker I was glued to all yesterday. I made a whole video about Tesla yesterday talking about where I would like to buy it. So I started accumulating Tesla around the 330s, and then I had another limit order right under 320. If it dropped lower, I was thinking to myself, I would probably feel comfortable picking some up before $300. So far, this is a bigger swing trade. We are about 7,000, I think, on this one, or 6.5 thousand. Actually closer to 6.5 thousand position size. So what I'm looking for is a break over 360 would be a good exit, and a break over 370 I feel like would be a great exit. So I'm going to be watching TSLA out of the gates. Maybe we could take some profits on that opening bell. Maybe we'll even take profits pre-market. So that's what I'm going to look for. I know, Space. Space hit 18. We closed at 16 yesterday. That really, I was like, no. I was so sad. Now it's at 18.3. I was holding that Space trade for, I feel like a week or, no, like 2 weeks. So that could have been a great winner, but yeah, unfortunately we closed out on that one. But luckily, we had some luck with Tesla. Also, luckily, I didn't go full size right away. I went like 5K, and I was kind of giving myself potential room for 10K position size. And now I'm at like 6K. So I would have easily averaged down here a little bit more, but I was not online after hours. So I didn't actually see any of these trades go in. So we'll see what happens. I would like to take some profits on TSLA. Like I said, over 360 would be a really, really good place, and over 370 would be absolutely phenomenal. Those are kind of my two targets at the moment. No rush on that, but I'm going to be watching this one fairly closely out of the gates. So I'm going to make sure to put an alert here. I'll probably take half size off, and then maybe take half size off again if it goes higher. I'm not fully decided, but those are kind of like my two thoughts on this one. Oh yeah, Whack House. Let's talk about here TRIL. TRIL. Oh, you know what? Before we actually talk about TRIL, let's do some housekeeping. I totally forgot about that. Just for everyone that's kind of watching the video, maybe driving, it's good to do a little bit of housekeeping, know what the dates are. First of all, guys, welcome back. Welcome to the live stream where we first review the watch list, and then we trade the market open every day the market's open. I hope everyone's feeling good, calm, collected. I got a giant jug of water here. I do have also my little espresso. Although I gotta say, as we talked about, drinking coffee and trading is usually not super advisable as you're already kind of getting enough rush as it is. And, you know, the whole kind of name of the game is, you know, being calm and collected, really relaxed, being patient. Trading is all about patience and risk management. Everything else is secondary. Anyway, today is September 9th. It is... It's a Wednesday. I had to really think about that. It's a Wednesday. It's 9:19 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we got another pretty much 10 minutes here before the market opens at 9:30, and then we'll wrap up trading around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me actually make sure this is all looking good here. So I'm broadcasting. You know, I am kind of still getting used to this new setup here. So, yeah. Quick reminder for everyone that's new, this is for education and entertainment purposes only. My trades are quick and not meant to be followed whatsoever. Always know yourself why you are entering and exiting a stock. Always have a thesis, guys. Stick to your thesis. For the first kind of majority of this video, we day trade, and then we talk about usually swing trades a little bit later. Lately, it has been a little bit more swing trade focused because the overall market has sold off so much, which gives great opportunities for swing trading. Anyway, guys, this community is a place for us to help each other. Please don't spam or you will be kicked. Check the video description below, guys. Tons of FAQs down there, tons of videos, recommendations, and, you know, everything from the pattern day trader rule to you know, proper portfolio allocation, crypto trading videos, all down there. And let's continue here with the watch list. TRIL, this is the one I wanted to talk about. 62 million float, Canadian biotech, with that 25 million Pfizer investment, 40% gapping up pre-market roughly. And it's holding its highs really good. We're trending over VWAP. It's really, really good sign. You know, we have a nice little bull flag here. I just, you know, I missed this run up here. This was a really, really nice run up. And then we seemed to make a nice round and bottom, hold our highs here a little bit, had a little fake out dip to the downside, and then we were kind of, you know, coming in with some big volume here. I actually ended up buying the pullback here, and I was up like almost 2%. And then I was like, okay, this is looking okay. I'm going to look for that move over, you know, 1375. We didn't get it, and I actually closed this one for a small loss, which was like kind of ridiculous. Again, we're kind of making a nice little flag pattern here. I wouldn't be surprised if this broke out. I mean, this is a perfect breakout consolidation, and then, you know, should be breaking out here again. Let's see what happens. This is kind of the same move as before, so we'll see. Maybe it's going to go to around 14 or so. Yeah, it looks pretty clean. So I think out of the gates, I'm going to be watching TRIL. I got this one on my second chart over here, and then I'm going to be watching the overall market on this screen. We're going to be kind of playing around a little bit in terms of just, you know, the portfolio right here, or the just the overall, you know, checking different stocks and tickers and whatnot, and then trying to get out of that Tesla trade. Also, NWGI, this was another ticker that was kind of making some headlines, but I never ended up trading this one, actually. It has a 10 million float Canadian gambling company. Looks like they have a sportsbook platform that launched in the USA today, or at least they got the approval for it. And kind of interesting, is pulling back a little bit, but it is kind of consolidating at an okay spot. I would like it more if it was consolidating above VWAP. Has a lot of resistance above. Makes me a little bit nervous on this one. I think we might have already hit that resistance. I'm not sure if we're going to be trading this one. I don't know. It's not looking super exciting, but I wouldn't be surprised if it, you know, tried maybe to hit 225 one more time. So maybe it's just going to have like a quick move, go to like 210 or 218 or something like that, and then end up actually selling off, but I'm not super convinced. TRIL is literally doing the move that I was waiting for this whole time. Unbelievable. Maybe we'll even get some pre-market trading in with TRIL. Yeah, Tyler, good call on Rackspace. I think that's a really good way to look at it. It looks like a lot of these companies bottomed out a little bit in the overall market's green today. So we had that 3 days of hardcore selling off, and today we're getting a little bit of that bounce. So that's really, really good to see that. I'll probably be thinking about closing out a few swing trades today. We'll just keep an eye on things and then play it by ear. Got another 6 minutes before the market opens. Good time to make sure everything's situated. Make sure the time of force is good. Make sure your orders are potentially ready. Make sure you have some ideas. Plan ahead a little bit, and then try to trade that plan as closely as possible, as long as nothing new comes out. And yeah, just be ready to go. TRIL, I might actually think about trading this one right now. It's a pretty healthy little breakout here with pretty decent volume. Would look for an entry maybe closer to like 13.65 or so. I'm looking to take profits on Tesla at around 360 or 370. That's what I'm looking for Tesla. Yeah, it's usually the case, Aaron, for sure. So a bit more with the large caps, because the news is typically pending on large caps. On small caps, the news just kind of comes out. Everyone trades the news. And then, it kind of ends up selling off after that. TRIL, still running here. Nice little move. Got another 3.5 minutes here before the market opens. I got plenty of time. ASTC actually is kind of looking a little bit interesting, kind of popped up a little bit late on my scanner in terms of something I would have wanted to trade. At first I looked at it in this area, but then it fell back off my scanners. It didn't really look that interesting, didn't have a lot of volume, but now it looks like a little bit more attention's coming in ASTC. But I'm not really sure if this is going to be a real lead gapper, worth paying attention to. So we'll see. I think TRIL is definitely going to be the lead gapper. For now. It is, again, more of a mid-cap than anything else. It looks like Tesla's really trying to pop here. I got 2 alerts on Tesla. See if we break over the 360. I would like to take some profits in that area. On the 4-hour, we have that kind of big resistance here, from the 9 EMA, from the 180 simple moving average. There's a lot of resistance here, not a lot of buying volume. So we'll see how this one kind of opens up, but would like to probably consider taking some profits on TSLA. I hope it does like a little spike to the upside out of the gates. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, guys, we got another 2 minutes. 2 minutes to grab water, stretch, and hit that like button. It's like a beautiful combo. You'll be feeling super good afterwards, and you'll be ready to, trade the day. So what would I be looking for for TRIL? Well, we have the pre-market high of that 1431. So any sort of dip would be kind of actually interesting, because we are breaking out right now. So we have that high 1431. We have big resistance at 14.5. So maybe we'll get a quick little dip here. I wouldn't want to see too big of a dip. This one's going to be a little bit different. If we have a red to green move, I think it'll be a little bit different because this one's just a little bit slower of a mover. 62 million float, guys. Has that Pfizer deal investment, so that's a really nice catalyst. I think this is going to be the ticker most people are looking at. Yeah, Tyler, I kind of feel the same way, so I want to take some profits while I have the chance. 30 seconds. So different sitting down and not having the standing desk. I miss it. All right, guys, good luck, everyone. 15 seconds here, and then it's going to be a little bit of a ding, ding, ding. I would like to buy the TRIL dip. Let's see what we get here. Wow, that dip was much more aggressive than I was going to expect. Wow, wow, wow. Really, really strong dip there. Possible bounce off of VWAP now. Crazy, crazy, crazy dip there. Tesla, a bit of a red open there. Hopefully it has a red to green move as well. We'll see what happens with it. Tesla and Trill are very similar moving right now. Nasdaq is up 2%. That's really, really strong. TRIL had a really nice recovery off that. I got to say that was kind of impressive. Was not expecting such a strong move back up. It actually ended with a big green hammer candle there. Try to get a little bit of an entry there for a second, but removed my order. Looking for that break. There it is. There's the break. That was actually the move I was waiting for, but that big sell-off was so unexpected. Kind of made me a bit nervous. Going back to Tesla, I just kind of actually want to watch this one a little bit. Watch the price action a little bit here. So far, it's having a pretty strong red to green move, 2% sell-off. So let's see. I'm looking for this one to curl back above 360. That's my goal on that one. TRIL, another dip here. This thing is a bit of a roller coaster. Happy I probably just kind of avoided it for now. A little bit unpredictable. Easy to probably get stuck in a bit of a wash machine on that. So far, a little bit of selling off on a lot of profit taking on Tesla. NLS, possible red to green move on this one. NWGI, 10 million flow, Canadian gambling company. Yeah, this one's actually looking really, really interesting. I'm going to keep a bit of a focus on this one a bit more here. Got that high of 227. This is the one we were thinking that might just see like 220, 218 and then dip back down. So far it hit that 218. Let's see the possible pullback here to the EMA. Big support around 201. Big buy volume on that open. Nice break so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 big candles. New candle's going to start in 20 seconds. TRIL still selling off as well. Bigger support around 13. TRIL approaching that key 13 zone that we were just talking about. Broke 13 just now. Big question, can it really go much lower than that? So we bounced around like 12.95. Watching Trill and NWGI at the same time. TRIL around 12.75 would be a little bit more interesting for me. Still feel like a little bit of risk on this one. A bit of a roller coaster for sure. Breaking 12, breaking 13 again. Will it crack really like the 1390 zone? That's really the big question here. There it goes. Possible order at 12.75. Missed the TRIL. Looks like it bounced more like a 12.86. 2% already. I would have taken my profits on that bounce, so I closed my order on that for now. Watching MWGI. It looks kind of like a lot of supports coming in here overall. Let's see if it dips one more time and what kind of volume that's going to see. Tesla's having a bit of a red to green move, guys. This is what I was waiting for. So it's about to be green on the day. It is obviously green on the day it's up, but the candle is still a red candle, right? So yeah, Tesla's having a red to green move here. Looking for that break of 358. Really nice red to green move on Tesla, guys. Congrats to anyone that nailed that. 2.5% up already. Very, very cool. NWGI definitely doesn't have that much volume here for a classic pullback kind of play. Wow, 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 wow. Tesla's going up, hoping for that red to green. Let's see what we get. Big sell-off at the open. Let's see what kind of move we get back to the upside, if one at all. SCON is actually making some really impressive moves. Big resistance at 0.5, sub dollar, so usually not the biggest fan of those. SEON with a reverse split proposal, 5 million float. That's pretty much the only thing that's really interesting about it, is that 5 million float. Everything else is kind of a giant question mark in my eyes. I wasn't a big fan of ITIC because it started selling off so much from pre-market highs. It was over the price point I typically look for, but you know, it did try to have a little bit of a red to green move here. Not totally sure if I'm going to be looking at ITCI, but I don't know. We got MYT picking up a little bit of steam here. Urban Tea, they're acquiring some other company. NWGI, guys, is selling off a little bit. I wasn't super stoked about it, but possible double bottom around 109. I mean 19, maybe like 187. Would definitely think about buying a dip on that area. $275 seems like a really key zone on this one. And then we also have kind of like this 230 zone worth keeping an eye on. MYT has that 3 million flow China restaurant company. MYT. They were not gapping up really pre-market, so that's a bit of a late bloomer there. NYT just hit that key zone we were talking about a second ago at 233. Let's see how much forward this is going to go. Big relative volume here today on this kind of acquisition news. They're intending to acquire 80% equity in Guokuyi Management. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Probably not. Letter of intent. Only one trade so far for me out of the gates. Bit of a slow morning. Keeping a close eye on the large caps. Yeah, I'm waiting for NWGI as well. I hope my alerts are going off for Tesla. Let me quickly just check it. Oh, okay, yeah, Tesla just came out with an alert here. MYT is actually looking pretty good. MYT, I'm going to put it on my second chart. We have that big resistance overhead, but if we can break that resistance, this could be a really, really sweet winner here. Tesla looking for that crack. We got the first crack on Tesla. Might be taking some profits soon, up about $700 on this one, so about 10%. Actually, maybe like 11-12% since this is a about $6.5 thousand position size. Right now it's still having a steady uptrend, so I'll just leave it here so we can kind of watch this one. I'm not totally sure, JC. Watching MYT. So we know there's huge resistance on Tesla around 370 and then maybe even into the 380s, 390s. I would probably start taking profits on the next move to the upside. If you're new here, guys, don't forget to subscribe. We go live every day the market's open to trade, typically small caps, but since it's been a bit more of a big large cap sell-off lately, we've been doing a little bit more large cap and day trading, so a little bit switch up here of content. I'm watching MYT, thinking where could we get an entry on MYT? Anything like 2.1, $2 to 2.1. It's a bit of a big range, but I'm just kind of watching this one, and hopefully we'll see something at one point kind of line up a bit nicer. Watching MYT. TRIL dipping, yeah, it's just a lot of dips today. Was waiting for a 5-minute setup on MYT. That would be a little bit closer to like around 205, 207. I don't know, somewhere between that range. Don't feel super comfortable buying this one yet. It's had a really nice move, but I think this one has a lot more in it. So, you know, really big relative volume today on MYT. The Chinese companies are a little bit tricky for me to trade, I've noticed. 3 million float though. It has that spike ability. Kind of a late day bloomer too. Wasn't really running till about pretty much the market open. MYT, nice bounce there. Man, I can't believe I sold space too early. I'm happy I sold it for the green, but that could have been a phenomenal swing trade. Still watching Tesla, still seeing if we can maybe break into the 70s. We're just in the beginning of a longer possible breakout here from after a long bit of consolidation. Nice average, Shrikant. Really good average. That's a good question, man. Really good question. I'm looking for that break over 370. Anything above 360, I think, is already a pretty good exit. I'm just kind of watching the price action. That's why most of my attention is on Tesla right now. Simple price action. We talked about it for like, I don't know, 8 minutes in yesterday's recap video. You can rewatch my thinking on my price entry and exits in yesterday's recap video. That was before I was even in this trade, kind of talking about, you know, if I would want to do this trade in the future. Yeah, Harley, man. It's always a bit annoying when you leave a lot on the table, but it is what it is, right? You got to break free. I'm not a big fan of day trading along large caps. I will swing trade them. Even swing trading large caps isn't necessarily my favorite. Mid caps are a little bit more fun to swing trade. Day trading, I feel like, is just very choppy, very messy. Although right now Tesla has a little bit of those classic day trading setups. Really nice red to green right here. But then this pullback is very, very strong. This pullback is actually just about perfect. But I feel like if I was day trading Tesla, I would be getting chopped out. Who knows? So I'm pretty happy just to kind of swing trade this one, take my profits, move on, and then buy more in my long-term account, my investment account. MYT, guys, breaking 230. Hopefully it's not too big of a percentage loss, Husky, but nothing wrong with the loss, man. Nothing wrong at all. MYT, guys, breaking that 230. Actually tried twice in the last 3 minutes. Looks like this actually was a fake out, pulling back now a little bit. Still waiting for that 5-minute setup on MYT. Maybe we'll get something like that. So right now we're just a hair above the moving average. We have some bigger resistance right here, 367, 370. I do think we might see this go all the way to like 372, maybe even go into the 380s. I feel like that would be a little bit too ambitious. So that's kind of, you know, my take on it. Also, we'll see, you know, if Tesla will do a kind of another retest in this area. But I don't really want to overstay my welcome. So for now, it looks like it is, you know, pulling back a little bit, maybe gearing up for a secondary break higher. So I'm looking for that, you know, bull flag kind of setup and then kind of going from there. MYT, still waiting for that 5-minute setup. No, I don't, TA. That would be another way to trade Tesla. So you could constantly have a trailing stop where, let's say it's 3-4% below the price. And as the price goes up, your trailing stop goes up as well. But if the price goes down, your trailing stop does not go down. That's a different way to trade. A little bit different than the way I trade, which is fairly quick. And I like to take profits fairly quick as well. But a trailing stop loss for swing trades is definitely not a bad idea. But it's always one of those kind of fine-tuning things. You know, how low do you have your trailing stop, you know? If it's too low, you give back a lot of profits. If it's too high, you know, you get chopped out. So it's a slippery thing. Small caps, again, are looking a little bit less interesting. MYT is kind of one of the more interesting small caps. So Tesla just had a bit of a bull flag here, VWAP pullback. It's still in an uptrend, so I'm kind of giving it a little bit longer here to see, how far it can go. I will probably consider taking half off pretty soon, so we'll see what happens. 9:54 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whew, man, this is just so different than usually what we usually do on this channel. So much more aggressive, or such a different style. All right, Eugene, thanks for the update. Let me check it out. TRIL was one of our main lead gappers with that 62 million flow. Canadian biotech with that $25 million Pfizer investment today. It was up about 40% pre-market, constantly kind of having struggling in that zone a bit. Had that nice pullback to about 1275. It's actually where we were talking about it. It's a little bit of a slow mover, so you'd have to use maybe a little bit bigger size to have your typical risk reward ratios on this one, I would assume. KSAC below 1839. This is a key zone on KSAC. I was actually thinking about getting long on this one again, even with yeah, this is a key area. So maybe something in the 16s. I'd be jumping on this really hard. Four-hour chart right here. If we go to the 1 hour chart on this kind of, I almost want to say IPO, but it's not an IPO, this merger. Actually, hold on. Let me actually see on the unlimited account. I might have had an order on this one already. Current account, no. Let me adjust this order quickly. Usually I would only do stuff like this like after 10:30, but man, honestly, it's this is really the time to be focusing on mid to large caps. You got to take advantage of the opportunities we're seeing right now. So this would be a starter size. So I'm going to go ahead and put a starter size on KCAC, see if we've dipped into the 16s. Keep an eye on this one. TSLA, guys, pulling up a little bit again. KSAC actually could be a good little day trade here. 4%. It's just a crazy everything, honestly. Do I think it will go that low, KCAC? I have no idea, but I think if it does go that low, it's going to be oversold, and then I'd be picking it up. Looking back at TRIL, this one could see that break of VWAP. I'm a little bit undecided right now because it had, attempted to break out and then flushed, tempted to break out, flushed. Right here, 1, 2, 3 attempts to break out, and it looks like now it's flushing. So that's why I did not end up trading TRIL. I was watching TRIL, but it wasn't making me super excited. IBIO. This is the one we traded a little bit pre-market. Tried to have this moment here above VWAP. I actually ended up missing this one. This one would have been a sweet trade. 4% could have happened. I don't know if I'm going to be trading IBIO. You guys are saying that possible panic sell on NYT pullback here. Oh yeah, good call. Right here in 205s. This is a key zone we were talking about as well. Let's go ahead and just watch this one. There's no need to enter a trade if you don't fully understand it. So I'm just going to kind of look at this one, see if I can wrap my head around it a little bit. 203, big support for sure. $2, even bigger support. Even like 187 and so, or 190, 198. This is a strong sell-off with no specific news. $117. No, wait, hold on. MYT is at 3 million float. That very explosive potential we were talking about. That Chinese restaurant company. That 80% acquisition, and that other company that I can't really spell. MICT is still going. Nice bounce here on MYT. I was thinking about maybe entering this one on one more little red candle. Looks like I was too conservative on that, so I missed it. This could have just been that one flush reversal, already up 2% to the 198 probably. I got to break free. I'm not sure about that, Tan. You know, think what your trading thesis is. Is it still true to your thesis? If it's not, get out. If it is, you know, keep trading it. Keep holding. TSLA might break below VWAP here, back below 355. Was hoping we would break back above 365. Doesn't really look like it at the moment, so we'll see how we kind of treat this one. Right now, it does look like on the 5-minute that this could be a bit of a bull flag here. I don't mind holding this one till about noon. No rush on it, but if we start seeing big cracks of momentum, it also isn't exactly what's going to get me super excited to keep holding it. I got to break free. Whew. I was listening to a lot of Freddie Mercury this morning. I don't know why, but VVPR. Oh man, that ticker's from way back, I feel like. It's getting a little hot in here. I'm gonna take some layers off. Be right back. Yeah, you guys already know. So this is the big question mark on TSLA. This is kind of what I was thinking, we could be breaking back below VWAP. Want to be a little bit careful here. So let's see what happens. I'll probably end up getting out of this trade fairly soon. Was hoping for that move over 365, and so far we're not really getting it. So we'll see. I'm already really, really happy with that trade. Again, I was looking for that, extra little pop there over 365, and then ideally into 370. I think we could still see 370 with Tesla. This could still just be a nice little upwards trend. A little bit hard to say. Selling volume, Yeah, it's there. That's for sure. It's a big bounce. It's already like 18-19% this Tesla bounce. So it's pretty strong stuff we're seeing. So I might close half the position and then let the other half ride a little bit longer. You guys leave some funny comments. Look at this. Man, look at all the small caps. They're just dried up in terms of volume. I mean, it's insane how low they're trading. ASTC looks like it might crack here a little bit higher, back above VWAP, maybe a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of something. Yeah, I think I will take profits on TSLA. I'll probably still have my possession on the next VWAP retest and then kind of play from there. ASTC, look at that breakout. Really sweet. We weren't really talking about ASTC too much. Very light volume on this one. USA Aerospace Company here, 5 million float. Yeah, TSLA is still pulling back here. We're about 450 now. So taking half position size off the table would have been appropriate, which was kind of my plan. A little bit silly that I didn't do that. So I'll probably be getting out on the VWAP retest. I was seeing how much lower we're going to go. So if we have that VWAP retest, I'll probably be closing out the Tesla trade. But yeah, super stoked about it. We got what we wanted. Held probably a little bit longer than I should. But you can never really, a perfect entry and exit is not what we're aiming for here. It's all about getting a chunk of the move, and we got that chunk, so I'm pretty happy. Shares float on ASTC 5 million. US Aerospace Company. What's the catalyst behind this one? That was a really nice breakout pullback there. That was like a perfect setup. Yesterday they had Q2. Screening qualification, screening qual. Milestone. Would have to really dive into this one a little bit more to fully understand that. But I think any like 1,000 screening test is definitely good news. Tesla having a double bottom actually right about now at 347. So big sell off there on Tesla. So any sort of VWAP retest would probably be a pretty good and gravy place to take profits. So pretty sweet. Oh yeah, that was a serious little sell-off there, huh? A little bit of a bear flag right under VWAP, and then it continued pretty much the same leg. Was really kind of looking for that move into the 370s. So I hope you guys all learned a lesson. Take those profits, like I always say. So probably didn't listen to my own rules close enough. ASTC 1,000 share size. Nice, Mark. That's a sweet trade. Congrats, man. There we go. Tesla having a nice little retest. Moving a bit higher. ASTC, that big resistance at 250. Had several attempts here, but big volume today. So it's nice to see that kind of volume. $5 million float also just generally looks really, really good. Fast mover, which is really nice to see. Might get out of Tesla really soon here, around 355. Looking pretty good. Nice, Tan. Locking in profits. Man, ASTC, just the amount of resistance above on this one, like, it makes me so uncomfortable. I'm watching it on my second screen, like, ready to, enter this one. But that, that daily chart on this one is just so unattractive. Really is a bit unenthusiastic just looking at it. Put alert here. Yeah, well said. That's a good way to put it. It'll never be enough, and it's always relative too, right? So it's always good to kind of get in that mindset. Start practicing the right kind of discipline. ASTC, tough for me to want to enter that trade. I pulled up Tesla because I thought we were about to trade it. And I wanted you guys to obviously see it. So let me get this out of the way for a second. Checking out other tickers that we could possibly day trade here. TRIL 1260. Looks like it's seeing a little bit of support. Sell volume really fell off a cliff on TRIL, so that's a good sign. Price targets are pretty ridiculous. I never trade based on price targets. They mean absolutely nothing. At least that's what I've learned in my years of trading. It's just never listen to price targets. MYT, look at this huge sell-off the sticker has had, huh? It's had some pretty interesting bounces to the points where you can make, some decent little trades off of it. Just wow. Pretty much back to square one on MYT. So not really too interesting. Had a nice little rally back to the upside, or to the upside near that big resistance we were talking about, 2.3. Had the double top, and then kind of, sold off. I know, it's actually kind of interesting right around this $10 zone. VIX is up 7%. Crypto is up a little bit. Crypto was back below 10,000 not too long ago. Let's quickly check out what the Nasdaq is up to. Really had a decent sell-off and then a reversal around 955. Looks like it might start seeing new highs above 11,300 here, kind of going into noon. Would not be surprising if that's kind of what we were seeing with some of the large caps as well. That's a good question, but I would assume the way Elon Musk talks about Neuralink, I definitely think it's its own company. And he wants to keep a lot of the other companies private because of the problems with a public company, focusing on shareholders, stock price, and all that stuff, having to be a lot more regulated by the SEC. So most likely, I think Neuralink will be its own entity. A little bit of volume picking up on TSLA again, a little bit of buy volume, first green candle, 5-minute green candle at the moment. Again, same thesis as before, looking for that retest of VWAP. That's what I'm looking for. Nothing new. Yeah, MIT is getting smack cracked with that stuff, huh? I think Tesla has a really good chance of seeing like 380, 390. But at the same time, that's like a whole different trade idea, so I'm not going to risk it. I would have liked to sell into the 370s. That might have been a little bit too optimistic. Taking profits in the 360s would have been a pretty healthy overall decision. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? But for now, I like this. I felt like, risking it, holding on to it a little bit longer to kind of see the results on it was well worth it. So I don't really regret anything. You only know 2020 in hindsight, right? So for now, I'm pretty happy with this overall situation. VWAP is at 355. We have that former high here at 354 roughly. 354.65. Looks like we cracked that for a split second there. A good way to deal with these spreads is if you zoom out a little bit, the order book kind of shrinks here a little bit and it's a little bit more manageable. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a quick pullback here, but let's kind of keep watching TSLA for possible exit. 9 EMA pullback right here. Let's see if we crack VWAP. Nasdaq might break above 2% really soon here at 197. So close. We are at 2% for a little bit today. So a healthy retrace on Tesla and see what happens. Neuralink is creepy. It is pretty crazy what they're working on over there, you gotta say. Oh. The waves were a little bit smaller today, but I think later in this week they're gonna really pick up. I'm looking like 2 meters early morning. It's gonna be freaking intense. Happy to hear, Craig. I enjoy doing this. You know, at the first few months of streaming and trading was a little bit intense for me, and according to my Garmin smartwatch, I had irregular heartbeats. I made a whole video about that. But now it's kind of, you know, it's a lot more benefits for me and I think the community as a whole, so I really enjoy it. 355, guys, we got to see if we can get above this 355. See if we get another pop here. 356 almost, but 355.5 probably, I would probably argue, is really the key zone. Boom, there we go. We are officially out of our Tesla trade. I wanted to sell on that crack of VWAP. That's what I've been saying the whole time. I was obviously hoping for a bigger move here, but if we broke VWAP here, my contingency plan or my quote unquote stop would be to sell on the retest of VWAP. And that's exactly what happened. So, you know, stock price came up 2% here. We had the VWAP retest. And boom, we took our profits. Pretty much that simple. So ultimately on this one, you know, we started buying here at 330. We were talking about was big time support. Bought a little bit more on the way down, had some limit orders set up. I shoulda, coulda, woulda bought more here because I didn't even have a full position size on this one. So I could have really, really slammed the pedal to the metal down here in the 300s. I was not online. I only had one limit order, like a backup limit order in case set. So that was that. So pretty sweet here. That's pretty much going to wrap up my day trading for the day. Ooh, LMND, guys, back above 50 bucks. We're up 285 on that one. Really sweet. So wrapped up $500 on Tesla, 285 on LMMD, although this is a swing trade, so I can't really bring that into the equation. IBIO here at 69. That was pure day trading, and then TRIL, a little bit of day trading as well. Pretty chill situation. Again, like, you know, I could start doing something silly and being like, oh, let me get over $1,000 P&L a day. You know, that'd be a great day. But, you know, never trade based on your P&L day, your P&L month, your P&L open. It doesn't matter. It's totally irrelevant. Trade the charts in front of you. If there's good setups, keep trading. If there's not something you like, don't keep trading. It doesn't matter, because if you want to make $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 on a day, all you have to do is increase your position size, and then in the future you can do that. There, you know, there's no risk, or there's no rush. That's what I want to say. There's no rush to try to break any sort of arbitrary number that is super irrelevant. So yeah, you know, trade what is in front of you, and the rest doesn't matter. Yeah, waves like surfing. Right now we're in Peniche for 4 weeks in Portugal, doing a little bit of a surf trip. Thanks, TA. Ross Cameron didn't day trade today too. You know, it's really not a day trading kind of day, for sure. We've been talking about this a lot. It's just, you know, it's not nice out there for small caps. I did a few small cap trades and then I was like, ugh, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. So, any books I recommend? I've read a lot of trading books. They all kind of talk in the end of the day about risk management and psychology. I don't know. Amazon has some good books. Audible. I like flew through a few books. Actually, on the flight here, I did a whole book. I just downloaded that puppy into my brain. It was so old school. He was talking about calling his broker. I was like, oh my Lord. But all the lessons are the same. Nothing changes with trading. It's all the same stuff. So if you learn from somebody that's like, you know, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it's all the same lessons. Where's my Audible? Hold on one second. I'm looking for Audible. So
this is wonderful.
There's Trading for a Living by Dr. Alexander Elder. I think it's kind of an interesting book. Tan says, now I'm up 90 bucks. Tesla, my one and only trade of the day. I'm done. Kids wants Mickey D sold. I like it. Sold FMCI stocks and got options instead. Up 25% already. Yoo-hoo, Tan. Sweet stuff, man. Congrats. Paul Young says, yeah, and thanks for the donation, man. I really, really do appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot for that. Thanks for supporting the channel. Yeah, Ross is an absolute legend. He's good. How to Day Trade by Ross Cameron, I read as well. It's a pretty good book. Definitely recommend that one. That one is definitely more, you learn what to actually do. Trading for a Living is a lot about psychology. It's a short book. You can read in like 2 hours. Trading in the Zone, I read this one from Mark Douglas. A lot about psychology as well. You're not going to learn what to actually do. You're going to learn a lot about psychology. I really like this book. Has nothing to do with trading, but I think it will really help anybody. It's called Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. It's kind of a little bit focused around stoicism and kind of how to think a little bit. I really like that book. Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. A really good book I would recommend everyone to read is by Jocko Willink, Extreme Ownership. That's a pretty sweet book. I just read this book like last 2 weeks ago. Really sweet. Extreme Ownership. That's a cool one. There's a really good PDF I would recommend as well. The Candlestick Trading Bible. You can download this book pretty much everywhere. The Candlestick, this is good. Reading about candlesticks I find is really, really important. You have to know price action if you're going to be a day trader. It's really, really important, and it's a simple read. You could probably do it in like a week. I would read this book probably like 3 or 4 times. I think I've read it 3 times now, and I'll probably read it again this year. It's a really good book. Yeah, it's you like this. You should be like, you should know this as the back of your hand. TD Ameritrade has a learning center where you can learn about candlesticks and chart patterns as well. I really recommend that, but it's like called the TD Ameritrade Library. That's a good one. Thanks again, Tan Man. I definitely will buy a beer or two, or pastel de natas. I've been feasting on those, but not enough. Christopher, which one were you referring to? There's a few books I pointed out. Yeah, Yako. Yeah, that book, Extreme Ownership, it's a really good book. I was like, like you apply that to trading and everything. It's good stuff. Again, it has nothing to do with trading, but it's a heck of a book. Yeah, Yako or Jocko. I always say Yako. It's Jocko. 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 Sorry if I'm pronouncing things totally wrong, man. Oh yeah, it's a good idea, JC. I'll definitely throw some recommendations in the recap video. Great idea. Audiobook Bay. Hey. Yeah, I read Ross's book. It's really, really good. I would definitely recommend it for pretty much everyone that's doing trading small caps. Even people trading mid and large caps, I think it's a phenomenal book. I like how it really gets into things a little bit more. Almost every trading book is like very abstract. I think it's important, but it's like very kind of psychology abstract. And I think it's a little bit too much for a new trader. I think like the book I just read on the flight here, I think any new trader would find it almost worthless, to be honest. I was reading it and I was like reinforcing a lot of stuff. It was like some good psychology, crowd mentality. Yeah, I have a little bit more headspace to be able to focus on those things. Like a new trader, you got to do like a little step one here. What's support resistance? Psychology is great, but I think it might be just totally overwhelming at that point. I'm not really sure. It's hard. Read it all and read it all like multiple times, and I think you won't regret it. Why did I not wait for the VWAP breakout on Tesla? Yeah, so that was something I was definitely considering. The problem with that is my stop was triggered on the break of VWAP. So when we broke VWAP, I was mentally stopped out already. So the VWAP retest was where I wanted to sell on the pullback. I missed this pullback. I wasn't trying to get this pullback, and then we had this one here, and I stopped out. So that was my basically trailing stop that got me out. This trade, I was already out of this trade mentally on the break of VWAP. Oh, that's funny. Ross has some good videos too. I watch a lot of his stuff. Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Yeah, that's a good book. It's a much bigger book than Trading for a Living, but it's a good read for sure. Rob Will says, thanks, handsome. That's very flattering. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. Let's talk about man, I'm freaking about to burst into flames. Let's talk about some swing trades here, because I think that's actually a little bit more interesting in terms of what's going on. Small caps, large caps, it's all a bit hectic right now in terms of day trading. I gotta say, SCON just had a really nice pullback and breakout on VWAP. So let's kind of look at this one for just a smidget of a second, because SCON with that reverse split proposal, horrible news, but 5 million float, Israel Biotech, okay, we got something. I'd be really nervous that this thing had a failed break of VWAP, kind of consolidated a little bit, maybe forms a little bit of a bull flag, and then eventually doesn't break higher. It actually just flushes down. And the reason I'd be a little bit thinking that could happen is because last time we had a little bit of a attempt to break higher again above VWAP, we flushed back down, and history tends to repeat itself. Volume's not crazy. It's not a small cap day. It's a sub dollar. Probably not a lot of people are watching this one. It's going to be around 1040. It's just, I feel like there's more negative catalyst for SCON to continue than there's positive. So, and the news is really ridiculous. So I don't know. The Tim Sykes book is Tim Sykes has some really good material. I don't want to really say anything bad about it, but I found his book was like a little bit all over the place with the hedge fund. It was some of his lessons he learned from kind of starting a hedge fund. I don't think you'll learn too much about day trading on the book. It's a good fun read. It gets like you a little bit motivated and like hypey, and it's a bit of like, the selling the dream a bit. In terms of like learning about trading, I don't think you're going to really get much out of it. I watched a lot of Tim Sykes DVDs. He has a lot of good material, good foundation video series. I think the one thing he never focuses on enough is a scanner, and this is why I have a whole video on a scanner. I always say know what stocks you want to trade, because I feel like when I was studying Tim Sykes for a long time, like in 2013, 2014, I felt like a big thing that I was missing was him being like, here is what you need to do, like learn it and like become self-sufficient, even though that's kind of what he preaches. But he'll never like, I don't know, I never got to that point where he was like, here's the scanner, or like, use a scanner. It's always like, here's my stock picks, research it. So get a scanner and know why you're trading, what you're trading, know what you're looking for every day, and just kind of get tuned into finding the stocks you want to trade every single day. I think that's so important. That's going to make you self-sufficient. Yeah, Demon, I feel a little bit of the same. He's a bit of a marketer, but he's a good trader too. Like, he's a great trader, and you can learn a lot from him. I just wish he would kind of teach you a little bit more on finding stocks and stuff like that. But I don't know, maybe he does. Maybe he has a whole new series about it. I haven't checked it out in years, so I couldn't really say. I'm sure his system is quite good as well. But I checked it out heavily, like in 2013. And that was like, after a year of going through his stuff, that's like the one thing I remember was totally lacking. And I feel like that's fundamental now. So, I don't know. His recent stuff is about stocks to trade. Yeah, that's true. So I was actually at Tim Sykes' conference last year, the Trader Investment Summit in September, and I had a good time. Learned a lot of stuff. There was a lot of promotion for stocks to trade, and I think that's probably where the scanner is now. And then you like, yeah, you're right. So yeah, it's a lot of promotion, but it's totally fine. Like, he's selling his stuff. That's great. You're learning as well. Like, I have nothing against that. He's doing his stuff. Please include the reading list in your recap video. I'll be sure to throw my reading list in the recap video for sure. Look at SEO, guys. Had that nice pullback. This is the big question mark. Is it going to have that continuation or what? Let's go through some of the tickers we have here. So we have American Airlines. Apple. Sorry, American Airlines. I was thinking AAL. I have no position on this, and probably won't. Was looking for that crack of 110. Looks like 110 was key support. I don't really see 110 breaking right now, so we'll just kind of skip on that. RKT had a triple bottom, and now it's pulling higher. This actually looks very strong, guys. I'm not gonna lie. This looks really, really healthy. I could see this breaking back above 25. I'm probably not gonna trade it at the moment, but I love triple bottoms. and on the confirmation of the triple bottom. So RKT looks pretty good. I could see this, you know, coming back to 26, maybe even going to like 27, having a 180-day retest, but we'll see. XPEV, you know, this one also had a bit of a triple bottom here, so looking really solid. Was thinking about trading this one on the break of 17 into like the 16s, but so far we're not really seeing that, which is a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, Benny, I feel you. Nice trade on that. I don't do a lot of Forex trading. RXT, look at this. There could be some really nice bounce potential on RXT rack space. I can't believe I missed this dip here at 17.59. That was kind of embarrassing that I missed that. That is like a perfect setup. So LMND, this one's really nice. We've been kind of buying into this territory. I've been waiting for these 50s to break. I would like to sell. It's a bit hard to say, but I would like to sell into the break of 52. Some of my position, and then ideally a break into 53. And anything at 55, if I was still long, which I doubted, I would be getting out real fast. So LMND, I really like this kind of setup here on this one. We're up 212 today. We're up $200 since the open on LMND, so kind of holding this swing a little bit longer. Really sweet here. Good to know, Benny. Yeah, interesting. I never really was crazy about Forex. I could see why people love it. To me, it's kind of like crypto where it's constantly trading. And that's actually why I like stocks, because the market's closed. And I find that like a really a bit of a blessing in disguise. BLNK, no trade really for me. I do have a, it's not on the right time period. I do have a limit order on this one, like super low. I don't really see this getting executed anytime soon. I'm just going to leave it here because I do think that this could easily have a flash pullback. SCON, guys, looks like it might even break out here. TTOO, no. GNPX, low limit order. SES, and none of these are really worth talking about. OBLG, FA, staff, yeah, no, not too interesting. So let's quickly pull out some other gross swings. Actually, before we do that, let's quickly talk about our other position. Man, so ADT, this was a perfect pullback here. I was looking for that entry right around here, 10.2. I'm going to leave this entry. Maybe we'll get maybe a dip at one point. I'll leave it, maybe extended hours. Sono, was looking for another entry on this one. Let me quickly see how it's going with these two. Sono's green. And then KCAC. I don't really see this one dipping into the 16s, but if we do, I would start accumulating here for KCAC, and I would like to hold this for a swing. SCON, look at that. It broke out to the upside from the bull flag. Sweet stuff there. I'm still not convinced about this one. I'm not going to trade it myself, but kind of a cool move. Yeah, I could make a video about that for sure. But when we talk about pre-market, what stocks we're looking at and what we're trading, we do review it almost on the daily. Demon, if you haven't checked out the Foundation video series, check out the first link in the video description below. It's on Skillshare. And you have to create an account, but you get 2 months or 3 months, I think 2 months for free. And you could do the whole Foundation video series in that time. And I go over my whole pre-market scanner, what I focus on, what I'm looking for in those Foundation video series. So definitely check that out. And if you have any questions while you're going through that series, definitely drop a link or drop a question, and I answer all the questions on Skillshare. AAL, yeah, 14 was big resistance. Amazon, just kind of pause off on this one. I would like to buy a bit more Amazon at one point, but I'd probably throw it into my investment account. SPCE, I really can't believe that I sold the swing trade too soon. It almost kills me a little bit. So unfortunate. But yeah, I don't know. No trade on SPC at the moment. Tesla with that beautiful bounce, having a lot of issues here. So I'm happy I took profits. Again, I do see this has the potential for 375 for sure. But you know, more risk than possible reward on Tesla at the moment. So taking profits on that was not a bad idea. Intel, yeah, I don't know, low 45s would be more interesting for me. AMD, I'm waiting for that crack of 75 and then into the 70s. I would probably pick up some AMD. So we'll see how that goes. Apple, yeah, like we talked about earlier, that 110 bounce was absolutely beautiful. NKLA, this is a ticker that we traded quite a bit yesterday. Had actually ended the day red yesterday. Big support around 44. That could be a nice little bit of a dip buy on this one. That could actually be a really good dip. I mean, after that GM kind of news with 11% stake in NKLA, it's kind of promising. I closed Shrikant Tesla at 355.40, I think. Let's go ahead and jump back to that for a second. Yeah, so we sold on the VWAP retest 355.45. That's where we closed Tesla. ADT we talked about. We talked about RKT. RKT looking really good with that potential for 27 in the short term. Royal Caribbean, Carnival, not really interested in. CVAC, again, CVAC, any sort of break under 55. Closer to the IPO price would be really interesting. Something like in the, I don't know, I would say 45 zone is where I'd probably start looking to buy CVAC. This one has a lot of publicity, so I think that could be a good swing trade. LMND kicking it over 50. Woo, we've been waiting for this little reversal for quite some time. I could see myself holding this for another week or so. No stress there. XPEV, if we have this one break 17 into the 16s, I will start accumulating some XPEV without a question. AMC, yeah, I don't really see myself trading this one at the moment. RKT, I mean RXT, I missed that 18 to like 18 point or 17.8 or something like that. 17.5, I missed that. That was kind of depressing. DKNG, DraftKings, I don't really see a trade on this one that I want. I think if DraftKings went down to like the 22.5 to 25, I would probably buy it. CLSK, man, I'm so bummed I missed this trade at $7. I don't know what I was thinking. KCAC, obviously we talked about this one before. What are you calling out right here? Nice, Recon. Taking them profits, man. Woo! Tesla was a good one today. That was really good fun. DPHC. And then I'll look at IBIO and then we'll wrap it up. DPHC from 9.5 to 1975. Not the craziest run. We've seen bigger. No news in a really long time on this ticker. Bit of a bull flag potentially forming, trending over VWAP. I mean, it is healthy. It does have decent volume for the day, or just overall. Although the relative volume is lower today. I think DPHC, I don't know much about this company, but it looks like it's getting ready for that crack here over 20. I would want to see volume come in on this one. I don't think DPHC is going to break it today unless a specific catalyst came out on DPHC. I don't really see this one breaking higher at the moment. Again, I don't know much about this company, so I can't really comment. I'm sure you know much more about it than I do. But I would like to see really volume coming in here and then break that 20 with some strength. Right now, we don't have, looks like catalyst, we don't have much volume that's driving this price. So I'd be a little bit cautious, but overall, it's still trending to the upside. It hasn't had a blow off top yet. I think you know, it could have some room to the upside. I just don't know much about the company itself, but based on technicals, it looks okay. Nice, calm down, man. I'm jealous. You snagged that trade. That was great. Yeah, let me know, Shrikant. I'll definitely check out WKHS as well. They're supposed to merge with Lordstown Motors. Merger coming in soon. Yeah, merger news is always great catalyst. Hopefully that works out. IBIO. This is the one we are trading today. This is what I made my day trading profits on, I think. Pretty much, yeah. IBIO, we're up 69 bucks on this one. And I don't know. It had a pretty ferocious red to green move. I kind of wish I jumped on the red to green. Like, now that I look back at it, it looks really good. Looks like a little bit of a bottom's coming in here. The sell volume's falling off a cliff. Maybe a bounce off of like 198 near the end of the day could be quite nice. IBIO kind of had some rehashing coronavirus vaccine candidate news. 117 million float, kind of on the higher end. I don't know. I don't know much. Like, it's on the backside of a giant move. There's a lot of back holders on IBIO. Every time it spikes, it's going to be sold into. I'd be a little bit nervous overall with this ticker, but I do think that $2 for now is big time support. So I think accumulating around $2, if you fundamentally believe in this company, is not a bad idea. That's kind of how I would play IBIO, with an account that I'm okay to have money, holding money for a longer period of time. And I could also see this going to like 1.5. So I wouldn't accumulate, you know, too heavy, too early. That's what I think, but I could be totally wrong. Those are my thoughts. They could be totally wrong. So it's always like, you know, with trading, it's not an exact science. It's a bit of like a lot of gut feelings and taking profits and cutting losses. That's really all trading is. And then let's go to actually WKHS Workhorse really quickly. I know this is a really hot ticker. From 37 cents all the way to 23.85. This is just an absolute crazy stock. Benziga's pre-market prep co-host Dennis Dick says he sold his remaining workout shares Monday because he thinks the story is going to cool off. Fair enough. That's a bit how I feel about the EV space as well. Yeah, I don't really know how I'd want to trade this one. What I would be worried about with Workhorse is like an offering coming out. I've said this last time, and then, you know, it going down to like $8, $10, like after one halt. So to me, there's huge risk, and I don't know what the reward is. Maybe it goes up like another $10. I don't know. So, I mean, we're talking like 30% upside and like 50+% downside. I would not be able to sleep at night if I was swing trading WKHS. One bad article comes out and this thing is falling off a cliff. I wouldn't be surprised though if, you know, it has volume coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, good news came out and this thing, you know, did hit 30, 40, or 50 bucks, right? I think it's possible. I just don't, I'm not crazy about the risk reward on this one right now. I think that's, to me, the dilemma I would have with trading WKHS. And I find it like a pretty big dilemma. SCON, guys, this thing is just keeps trying. Oh, look at stretch. I'm gonna have a coffee, a little afternoon coffee. All right, guys, I'm wrapping up here. 11 o'clock, time for my beauty nap. Just kidding. No beauty nap. American Airlines, I'm not ready for it just yet. I'd probably wait for a bigger pullback, and I'd probably just go long with jets because I'm really bad with the individual airlines. I just don't know what they're all up to. I just don't have time to catch up on all that stuff. All right, guys, let's wrap it up there. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. The community is amazing. Always love to see what you guys are up to. You guys are slaying some of these trades much better than I am. Hey. Don't forget to not to overtrade, or just, that's like really confusing. That's like negatives on all fronts. Stay safe, guys. Make some awesome trades. Don't overtrade. Take the profits when you have them. Don't do anything silly. Hit the like button like Michael says. Thanks, Paul. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the recap video, and I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. Subscribe if you're new. We would all love to see you again. Till then, ciao, ciao. Peace. And here it begins, where I try to figure out how to end my stream. The button doesn't load on my second screen too often. Oh, here it goes. It's going quick this time.